Okay guys, hi, it's your girl. So I'm going to do this video because I thought I had it recorded already, but I guess I don't. It's going to drop before Briarfest, of course. But as customary with a model horse YouTube channel, we've got to come up with what we believe is going to be the surprise horse for 2026 Briarfest. Few people with their thoughts and all of that stuff and what they believe, and I'm gonna just say, I'm not gonna repeat them, but I'm also gonna say I agree with them, so we are gonna kind of repeat a little bit. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but Stormy Strike, I watched her video and she made a good point about the models like fitting the vibe of Midsummer Fair, because we're thinking Midsummer Fair is Norwegian folk, you know, we're thinking Norwegian, we're thinking of big hills and sweeping slopes and grass and flowers and green and blues and pinks and stuff like that. And I'm feeling that, and I'm feeling fairy vibes, but that's also Ren Fair vibes, so I don't know. But I'm also feeling something that's going to fit the Norwegian, Scandinavian vibe. So, with that being said, let's go over some of the ones I believe, and I'm not copying anybody, I'm just agreeing with the horses that I believe that could possibly be the surprise. Now, I could be wrong, and I'm not going to highly research it like Sarah, because Sarah's the best. If you guys want to go see the absolute best, highly scientific, broken down, she's an expert at that stuff, watch Lonesome Glory on YouTube. She's the one that got me started on the whole thing. Watch her video, because she 100% will break it down. And Stormy Strike did the same thing. So watch both of those guys. They're amazing. I'm just going to kind of go just, and then that's what, yeah, because I'm not an expert. Fire Briar has all of these horses. Now, some of them are foals. Some of them we don't and won't see again. But we have all of these to choose from. And that's what Sarah does, is she breaks it down. But we're going to try to go through this, and we're going to pick the ones that fit the vibe. You also have to keep in mind as well that Briar does not usually use horses twice in the same Briarfest. Sometimes, you know, year after year, yes, like we were talking Madison and I were talking the other day, the Fireheart was used and has been used in the past couple of years. They used Stein and Prost. That was 2022. They used Blue Zeus, I want to say in 24. Y'all correct me. And then they're using the Wanderer now. So it seems like it's an every other year kind of thing. Now, I don't know. I'm not going to claim to know what they do. But it seems to me the pattern is they use. But they did not use him in the same Briarfest as, per se, like they didn't use him as a special run, and they didn't use him as an auction model in the same breath, in the same Briarfest. Also have to come to a conclusion that Briar will not, and this is, everybody knows this, it has been said by many people, I'm just restating it, that Briar does not use the, they don't use the auction models and for the surprise. So if all of the auction models that we have seen so far are notably, as per their history, not going to be used as a Briar model for the surprise, as the model for the surprise horse. Sorry, it is a Briar model. Anyway, I'm very hot and I'm very tired, guys. It's been a long day and a long weekend. So, is another note, they do not use a horse from the lineup of special runs and the limited editions and stuff. They do not use those for the surprise horse. It's going to be a horse that we totally have not seen at all in the same lineup. Now, there has been a couple of, maybe one, I cannot remember what year, but maybe one or two rare occasions where they've done that. But notably and normally, they have not done that. Another note, I keep thinking about these notes in my head. This is not even written down or pre-planned. This is just me off my head. They will not use something that has been used as a surprise horse in prior years. I have not seen the same horse, knock on wood, I have not seen the same horse that they used for 2010's Briarfest, or not, when did they start? Like 2020's Briarfest. I haven't seen the same Suprise Horse that they will use in 2025's. So I have not seen the same one being used. That being said, that rules out all of the Suprise Horses, like, sorry, I think I have something on the side of my mouth. That rules all the Suprise Horses for me from previous years, unless they're wanting to dip back into like when they first came out with Suprise Horses, which I don't think they will. That's just me personally, though. So that rules out like the Nakota or the Winx or the Totalis mold they used last year. Let's see. I'm trying to think of anybody else off the top of my head that I'm looking at. And any of those previous ones from last year. Just because I don't see them doing that again. But that doesn't leave, I mean, that leaves quite a bit still, but it doesn't leave very much, like, for us to, as we spoke before, all of the horses that were used in the live auction aren't going to be used. So that gets rid of, our buddy, the ASB Stallion. It gets rid of him. It also gets rid of some of the older vintage ones, like the Cantering Welsh Pony. And then it also kind of gets rid of some of the others that, I'm trying to look for one here that I saw. I think this guy was one of, no, he was not. Like one like the Connemara mare as well. She was also one of the lineup of the live auction models. I can't talk. People suggested as well, and I've seen kind of like a little bit of a pattern with this, using a premier model in the lineup of either the live show or the live auction, or the like the lineup of the special runs or the limited editions, mostly special runs. So we're seeing Winifred from last year as Aquavit, or however you say your name, this year. Possibly, I would think that they were going to use, a premiere from this year as one of their live auction models. Here's another pattern that I've noticed as well. Prize models won't be used, I don't believe, as a Suprise Horse. And that was one of the ones that they did use. They used a sport horse for a prize model and also for a Suprise Horse or something along those lines, or a special run or something. So yeah, that did happen, but that was like one time, I believe. But any of the glossy like prize horses that you see, like a glossy Totalis or Salinero, I think there was a glossy something, you won't see those guys as the Suprise Horse. Okay, so our prize models, like I said, a lot of people were thinking of Troubadour being part of the Suprise model lineup. But unfortunately, he is one of the prize models that is going to be given out. And then along with that, we have got Wyatt. Nobody really said anything about Wyatt, and then we've also got the Pasofino Stallion here as another one of the prize models. So that being said, it also rules out this guy as well, because he is the volunteer model. The Cody's Wish, so they're giving Cody's Wish out, a glossy one for one of the prize models, as well as the Ideal Series Buckskin, the Orin Mixer Buckskin. He's kind of considered out. So those guys I would not consider as being part of that lineup for the possible model that could be used for the Suprise model. To me as well, that Breyer used a lot of their Icelandic or just Nordic or Scandinavian breeds of horses already. So, of course, the running Fjord mare, Corgi Hill Flinka is on the Fjord mare mold, so that one's out. as far as, you know, anything you can think of being used for the Suprise model, which would fit the vibe. And also the Icelandic pony mold as well, as it has been used already as a limited edition. And then the newest Rowan mold has been used as well for a limited edition, I think. So that one is considered out. Now, I'm trying to think of any of the other ones that could possibly be used, but I can't really think of them off the top of my head. Most of the ponies have been used, except for Misty. Ufta, that one is the online only special run model. That guy's been used. We've, of course, you know, the most popular guy. We've used him on the Othello. And then we've used the mule. We've used a couple of other ones. And those guys, I don't consider part of the lineup. So the couple that we absolutely could not forget is the ones that are used for the raffle models. So we've got somebody predicted Bobby Joe. And so she's being used for one of the raffles. And also this Clydesdale mare is also being used as one of the raffles. So those guys are out. Okay. So I stand corrected. I did do some research. And the Ideal Series Buckskin horse, the glossy one that they are using, I think for like a sectional champion prize, is also the same mold, obviously, as the Dun Tobiano Geronimo, Sobino Geronimo they are using. So there you go. There's two of them. Like I said, it's very rare, but also can happen. With that being said, I'm also going to kind of rule out some of those older vintage models, like the racehorse or the quarter horse gelding. The quarter horse gelding, I believe, was used as one of the first Suprise models. Correct me if I'm wrong. And like the quarter horse yearling and all of that stuff, I do not see them using those guys. They're not very popular because, you know, as Stormy Strike said, you have to rely on popularity, what they haven't used before. I'm not quoting her exactly, but popularity, what they're going to use for, what's going to be able to be sold or traded or whatever pretty easily, but also in demand. So some of these horses, like some of those older ones that are done like 1990 and all that stuff, I don't believe they would use those. That's just me. I don't see them using something like that. They probably need to focus on something that's going to be more like sellable and more in higher demand than the molds we have not seen yet. I don't know if they'd have it as the Suprise horse or not. Was this little Fjord pony mold right here. This little guy, like I said, I have not seen him yet. Now I could be crazy and I could be missing something, but I have not seen him. So, they could possibly use him, but I don't really believe so because I don't think he's in that much demand. The last time they used him was in 2002. Oh, no. It was 2020 as Goji. But the last time they used him at Briarfest was about 2002. He was a live auction model. Just a gray guy. So here he is. Me personally, I don't see them using another like warm blood mold or a stock mold because to me it doesn't fit the vibe like we're going with. So Jim Twist for me is out. The German riding pony, aka Nicholas, to me he's out as well. Giselle was already a Suprise horse not too long ago. Goffert, unfortunately, they used him as a live auction model. To me, he would have been a really good one, a really good Suprise horse, but a loss. They used the Gypsy Vanner or the Brishan mold last year as YOLO. Now, I'm not going to say that they couldn't because that fits the vibe, but I don't believe so. And then like a Hanoverian, the Highland pony's already been used. Of course not Huck Bay because he's an Arabian. So I'm possibly coming up on one of the ones that I think maybe, but like I said, she's kind of a Spanish like breed. So, but a lot of people mentioned her as this lipids on her mare. She's elegant. She's pretty. I have got dirt right underneath here from Holland feed. But she's elegant. She's pretty. I don't know. Like I don't want to go back on what I said. Like I don't believe that they're going to use something that's not fitting the vibe. But she's elegant. She's pretty. There's not been really much done on her in a while. I think the last thing they did, 2023 was the last one I believe that they did with this live auction model. Let me look and make double sure that that's right. Yeah, see, they haven't, 2024, okay, they came out with the Collectors Club. I think it's Antonia. With beautiful, absolutely beautiful girl. Yeah, Antonia. So that's really the last thing that they've done with her. So she's pretty decent popularity-wise. She's pretty, like I said, she's pretty, she's elegant. Does she fit the vibe? Does she fit like a midsummer fluttering fly fairy stuff? Scandinavian? No, she's Spanish. So she's a Hispanic lady. And I don't see her getting where she needs to be as far as that. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but I don't see her being desired. Now, is she popular-ish? Like I said, So we'll see. Illusion Mare too. I got to go back up here. She was also kind of thought to possibly be one of those. I'm trying to find her. Sorry. That could possibly be used. See, the last time that they used her was in 2024 as the Mare in Full set. So I don't see that happening either. I mean, it's a year from, it was a couple of years ago. So, I mean, but like I said, does she fit the vibe for me? No, because she's a Spanish lady. She's not Scandinavian. So, right now, even though my top pick for me is not, most of my picks are going to be mares just because of the elegance factor. The popularity factor and stuff like that. But like I said, my top pick is going to not be, a mare. They could make her into one or can make it into one, but to me, I don't know. I'm looking, like I said, I'm looking for elegance. I'm looking for, flowy and fairy and like glitter and stuff like that. Cause I was looking at Animar and the last time they used him was in 24, I believe. Or no, they used him in 25. Let's see, 2. Okay, so 26, I'm sorry. 26 and 20 for, like Lisboa. But that's Collector Club. So Briarfest, they've used him the last time in 2024. As one of their live auction models. So is it too early? I don't know. So one that I believe fits kind of the vibe is this little fell pony maybe. She's flowy, she's elegant-ish, got a lot of attitude. I mean, to me kind of fits the vibe. So that might be like my third pick possibly. Third or fourth pick. I don't really know how many I've got. She might be up there for me. I haven't seen her used except for, let me see, 2023 was her last Briarfest. 24 was live auction, but like the last Briarfest special run was 23 on Scurry. Yeah, okay. So she was Scurry. In the last couple Briarfests ago, 23, and then 24 she was also a live auction model. 2017 she was also a live auction model. So she hasn't seen the Briarfest scene in a while. Could it be too early? Possibly, but she does fit the vibe as far as being flowy and pretty, and she is relatively in popularity in demand as far as popularity standpoint, like from a popularity standpoint. Another one that is kind of in a heavy discussion is the Mustang mare, or in what I call her is the Forever Sage model. I'm trying to find a good one over. Shoot, let's just go to the point. There we go. So this is the Forever Sage model, the Mustang mare. There's been some discussion about her possibly being elegant, kind of just fitting the female, like the Ren Fair, the Midsummer Fair vibe. She's flowy, she's pretty, in relatively decent demand. As far as, you know, if somebody doesn't want something, they could trade for her and all of that stuff. She's not completely frowned upon, but she's also not, like, oh my God, I'm gonna, you know, run somebody over for it either. So if that was the right, oh my God, my brain. All right. She's also, she's liked, but also if somebody doesn't like her, somebody who does like her will like her and trade for her, buy her, whatever. And she can come in some pretty decent colors. Now, is she customizable? No, but she can come in some pretty decent colors because she's really not very, she's had some stuff done as far as like, you know, various different colors, various different patterns. She does make them look good. So, and then she has been glossed. She has been matte. The last time she was on a Briarfest scene, though, I'm trying to look and make sure I'm not crazy, was 2020 as a live auction model. So, she can be, you know, she can be used. It's been a while. It's been a minute. So another one, I'm not going to say that she's a possibility, but she can kind of be up there, is the Rejoice mold. She has not been used in a very long time. The last time I saw anything with Briarfest, let me double check and make sure I'm not lost my mind, was 2017 as a live auction model for, I think that's India, Gateway to India. So she, like I said, she has not been seen in a while on the Briarfest scene. So she could possibly, now am I saying that, oh my God, you know, she absolutely is dead set going to be, no. I'm not going to say she's a popular mold either. I don't believe she is. There's her group and then there's not. I like her. I don't particularly, she's not my favorite. She did show well with me a long time ago. But to me, she's not as in demand as some of the other mares, like the Mustang mare, maybe. If I had to choose between the two, I really don't know because me personally, I don't like any of them. Just because they're not my type, but, I think that she might still have her people. So like I said, if somebody gets her and doesn't like her, can be easily traded. So another pretty popular one would possibly be the Pam mold. She's very popular, very in demand. They've miniaturized her. And they've used her for various different things. But that's the thing, though, is she is popular. She has been used a lot. So, as far as popularity goes, yes. But as far as something that could possibly be used for a surprise horse, she'd be in very high demand. Could they possibly have, better paint jobs for her? Yeah. They've had pretty decent paint jobs on her. She was in 2023. She was used as one of the live auction models. And so she can come in so many different colors, and she can be glossy. She can be anything. She's very versatile girl. But I haven't seen her, I don't think, a bit for a while. I do have the Sierra Rose model. I don't remember what Briarfest. Okay, it looks like it was 2018 that she was used as a Briarfest special run. So it's been a bit. I'm trying to make sure I'm not losing my mind, but I don't think she's been used at Briarfest for a bit. And if I'm not right, you guys let me know. But she's due for maybe an upgrade. as far as just a new coat of paint, a new look. She has not been used as a surprise horse yet. She's been used decently amount as like a live auction horse. So if she is used as the surprise horse, a lot of people are going to lose their minds. Me especially. I do love her. Is she my favorite? No, I have other favorites, but they've already used them. But if I got her as a surprise horse, I would be very happy. I don't care what color she'd come in. So that's a possibility. She might be like my third. So let's say Fell Pony's 4, third is the Pam, and then we'll go to the other guys. Let's talk about one of the molds. I did find that I believe, me personally, has not been used in a while. So 2024 was the last one that we saw of this one. It is the Sport Pony Fjord. You guys remember the fruit stripe zebra? That could also be a possibility. 2024 was the last one I saw of him, or of her, sorry. But she has been used in Briarfest in 2022. That's all she's been used is Briarfest, except for Hot Cocoa, which was a holiday web special that everybody goes nuts for. Popularity-wise, meh, but can this horse withstand some customization? Yes. We saw Rapunzel from 2022's Briarfest with the mane, and then we saw the fruit stripe zebra with the chopped mane. So there can be some customizations. There can be some variations. There's not very many. There's only 4 listed on Identify Your Briar. So with that being said, could be a possibility. Is it one of my top choices? No, but it could be a possibility. I had to turn you over because I was charging my phone. But anyway, another one that we were talking about is the Weather Girl here. She is very popular. A lot of people love her. She's elegant. She's flowy. Does she have the little blah, blah, blah on her hooves? No. But she's popular and would be astronomical as far as the level of excitement people would have for her, and as well as all of the stuff that they can do. Now, she's not as old as Pam, of course. But she has been done up in quite a bit of different colors. So she can be glossed, and she can be matte, and she can be appy, she can be paint. So anything that they want to do, Robocano, whatever, there you go. So she might be my second choice. So that was number 2. And then I'll go over my runner-up as far as the one that I would love to see is this gal. Now, I have never seen her. Well, I have actually, no, because we've got Kiss Me Kate and all that are separate in Lavinia. But they also came out with her this year as far as Lavinia for Collectors Club. So will they do something like this? I don't know. But this is one of my hopefuls. I would love that because I love her, the Gypsy Vandermeer. But I don't think that's going to happen. So she would be my runner-up hopeful. I would love and keel over if I ever saw. Okay, let's talk about my first one because it's actually a lot of other people's big picks too. It's Madison's pick. And I get it. I get the vibe. This guy checks off all the boxes that I believe would fit what the surprise horse should be. So, and he has not seen the Briarfest scene in a while. I say in a while, 2023 was the last time I had seen him. I'm looking here. Yeah. So let's talk about it. He fits, like the way he's built, the way he is, he fits. He can go in many different degrees as far as breed placement, colors, glossed, non-gloss, because he has been both. He can be appy, he can be paint, he can be all sorts of stuff you can think of. He can be solid black, he can be whatever. We're talking about the one and only OG Vermeer. Now, 2023 was the last time he was used in Briarfest. Now, he was used as a special run. Don't ask me to say any, how express, you guys know who I'm talking about as far as the one that they used. I'm going to say it's like, yep, I'm not going to even try. But anyway, you guys know. But also quite popularly was he was used for a CCA, the glossy Battlefield Angel or Ezra. But he was also used as a live auction horse as a reverse dappled blue roan in 2023, and also as a very pretty dappled gray pinto in 2021. Okay, and I lied. I'm sorry. Well, the last time he was used for anything was 25 with Jurian, but Briarfest 2023. So we know he can come in various different shades because we know the OG himself is this really pretty leopard Appaloosa with some pinking. And then we know that Jurian was used as kind of this like chestnut, very flame bright red chestnut. And then, we've seen him as Ezra. We have seen him as all sorts of different, he can be a decorator because Leaf came out. So he's very, and I'm not saying any of the others aren't, but he's very, in my opinion, very versatile. And he just fits the vibe. Because also, Stormy Strike brought this up as well. Like, he fits the vibe. So, that's my top pick. We'll have to see coming up on Friday. But this is my breakdown. Very unprofessional, very just off the top of my head thought process of who I believe would be. Okay. So, 5th time's a charm on taking this. I've been like missing stuff. Okay, so here's my top 6. So I came up with 6, guys, talking about what we were discussing and thinking about it and thinking it through and everything like that. I came up with 6, me personally would hope to see, or I think would be up there, going by what others have said, what I think, and what, researching why they would be up there and all that stuff. So my 6th pick, so this is not in any order, but I'll tell you my top 2. So I have a top 2, I have a hopeful, and then the rest. So the first one would be the little fell pony mare, just because she's kind of sort of in demand. She can be gloss, she can be various different colors, and she fits the vibe as far as being flowy, being, kind of the type of horse that would be up in the Scandinavian area. So she's my like 6th pick. My next pick would be totally just because they haven't used her in a while. The colors they can do all sorts of stuff with the colors, and they can go and gloss her and matte her. And she hasn't been used. Like I said, she hasn't been used in a while. Is this the Forever Sage or the Mustang Mare mold. And then the next one I think would possibly be, now this one is in contention with like my hopeful and my second and all that stuff, is the Weather Girl mold. Simply because she is very popular, she is very elegant, she fits the kind of the flowing, jumping through the flowers, midsummer, kind of feel to her. And they can gloss her, they can matte her. She comes in all sorts of different colors, or she can come in all sorts of different colors. So, and she's very popular. I don't know if I said that or not, but she's very popular. And then my next one would also probably go off the charts as far as if she was ever used, the Pam mold, just because they have not used her in a Briarfest mold in quite some time. She can be gloss, she can be paint, she can be Sabino, Robicano, whatever you consider, whatever. Glossy, matte. Oh my God, that's hard to say. Glossy and matte, whatever. And, just popularity is, everybody would go, lose their mind. My hopeful would possibly be this girl, even though they did use her for Lavinia this year as a Collectors Club model. She is pretty popular, in my opinion. She can be glossed, and I haven't seen her in gloss, have I? I don't think she's been glossed yet, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. She can be. I believe that she can be. But she can be all sorts of different colors, beautiful paints. She could be an Appaloosa, all sorts of other stuff. But she fits the Vanner vibe. She fits the flowy, the hair, all of that, I'd like to see in a Suprise Horse. And her popularity, I don't know if I said this or not, I keep forgetting, pretty good. So, and then now that's my hopeful pick, but my absolute top pick, and seems to be everybody else's pick, we haven't seen this guy in a while, is Mr. Vermeer. Just for the simple fact that he fits and checks all of the boxes that I believe and others believe to be, to put him in contention for the Suprise Horse. He's flowy, he's pretty, he's very in demand, can be glossed, can be matte, can be all sorts of stuff. So I think that's my top pick, and then that's my top 6. So we'll see if I'm right. I don't know. We'll see if everybody else is right. If they come out with Vermeer, we're all gonna take a shot. I don't know. Anyway, that's my prediction, guys. As uneducated and, yeah, this is purely my opinion. I did research other people's opinions and kind of, based some of their thoughts with my own and all of that. A lot of roads lead to Vermeer, so that's where I'm going. And it makes sense. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. And happy Briarfest. Stay cool, stay hydrated, be safe, have fun. Yeah, just be careful. Bye.